I'm like, at first I'm like, man, this can't be real, yo. This not true. Like, she playing with me. But I just kept seeing like the consistency, like the effort. Like, she was like, you want me to come get you? You want me to come get you? I'm like, that's what you want out of somebody. Like, you want them to show that they all about you. And like, I'm like, dang, like, out of all that, she got so many options and you choosing me.
I tell you lies and it's just so toxic. You lie, I lie too. Girl, I don't love you. You know it's lies when I say it's just you. But don't be mad, boo. I once believed too.
First, let me make this clear. It's DNS Soldier.
And this is Robby Too Fast, and thank you for tuning into the Two Sides of the Heart podcast. Today, we got another shore legend, you feel me? Whether he know it or not. He hails from the Eastern Shore. His mom from Denton. His pops is from Berg. He currently works in the school system as a coach and a gym teacher. College educated, a father of 3, okay? Oldest of 4. He's a part of the Ready Academy Foundation, married, and he has experience in athletic training, cooking, and branding. Please welcome Trey Bolden. What's going on, bro?
Man, what's going on, man? Appreciate y'all having me, man. Man, the introduction is fire. Like, dang, you made me just run everything through my head. I'm like, dang, like that's a lot. You feel me?
For real.
But feel like I still got so much more to accomplish, man. It's just grateful for. Appreciate y'all having me.
Appreciate you for coming back, man. After we saw you on the round table, we was like, oh yeah, he need his own individual jump.
Yeah.
So yeah, we just gonna go ahead and get to know you a little bit personally for real.
Let's do it.
All right, bro. So starting off, who is Trey Bolden?
Man, Trey, just an Eastern Shore youngin'. You feel me? Like that's how I came up on the shore. Like I said, like you said, my mom's from Denton, pops from Berg, so I got both sides of the Carolina County in me. Pause. That was crazy. But nah, just a youngin' coming up, man. Like just like any other kid, man. Love sports. Stayed outside. Just ordinary, humble, stay to myself, man, and that's really it, man. Just me, for real.
Where did your love from sports stem from?
Man, honestly, I would just say it was just natural. Like my pops, you know what I mean? He played ball, my mom played ball, and I just think just growing up in the environment I grew up in, like that's all we did. Like we just stayed outside and you just competed with everything. Yeah. Like we played curveball and you know what I mean, just whatever it was, like it was competitive. So once I picked up a basketball, football, whatever, like just ran with it, and it was just like natural. Like it was just something that I ain't really have to like really put too much work in. And once I just saw how much joy it brought my mom and my dad and how much like love I got from it, I just loved it ever since, and it just been me for real. That's really all I ever did for real.
So you more of a basketball player or a football player?
I mean, most people know me for hooping, but I would say football probably more natural because I think football is probably, no disrespect, like it's probably the most like easy sport to play. Like you don't really, you know what I mean, it's not really complicated until you get to the college NFL level, but you know what I mean, catching, running, throwing, like you grow up doing that. But I would say basketball probably my first love though. Like it's just nothing like hoops for real.
But I'm definitely a football player for sure. Not that good at basketball. Like I feel like I just happen to be an athlete, so you know you can kind of do both. But I always see that debate online and like what take more skill, football or basketball? I definitely think it's basketball though. Yeah,
and there's no disrespect. Like I said, football, like, because if I could have, I would have still been playing football. You know what I mean? But like basketball, it's like, it's a little bit more details when it comes to the actual playing of the sport. You know what I mean? Now, if it comes to the X's and O's, that's when it starts to like even out, because you still got plays in basketball and football as well. But like just the overall aspect of getting by somebody with handling a basketball, shooting over somebody, finishing with both hands, English and stuff like that, it take a little bit more touch and feel for the game. Like football, if you just a dog, you can go hit anybody. If you're fast, you can run. You feel me? Like, so I think football just naturally in everybody blood. It's either you good or you not that good at the end of the day.
What's the Ready Academy Foundation?
So like Ready Academy Foundation is something my pops came up with. Like he been barbering his whole life, like since I was born. And I just remember him telling me he just, you know what I mean, just was watching some kids walking down the street and he was just like, man, it look like they just walking and don't even know where they going. You know what I mean? And his mind frame is like, man, I want to do whatever I can before I leave this earth. He don't want to be just known as a barber. So he like, how can I leave my imprint on, you know what I mean, on life? It's something I can leave behind that, like with a legacy. And he just came up with the acronyms of READY, like being ready, energy, effort, attitude, drive, yearn, and determination. You feel me? So drive, determination, and yearn. You feel me? Excuse me. And we just been running with it really. Like we done had 2 summer camps for the youth, you know, at our church. They let us use the building. So we had like 4 weeks with the kids. They come in there and we, you know, help them, not just playing, like trying to teach them like how to problem solve, communicate, handle situations and stuff like that. Just give them something to do. Because I remember when we was coming up, we had hot spots. You remember that?
Yeah.
And bro, hot spots was lit, bro. Like everybody wanted to be at hot spots. If you wasn't at hot spots, it was like you was really missing out. Like, cause we played ball, we went on field trips, everything, and everybody was there. So once they took that from us, like we started to see a little bit of like the trouble started to come. Like it was like nothing for us to do. So like it coming back full circle, it's like, man, we see now it's still nothing to do. Like from 10, 15 years ahead, like it's nothing for the youngest to do but to get in trouble or play sports. So you know what I mean? Like really just wanted to establish something in the heart of where we from, really, and just build it. Like hopefully, you know what I mean, God willing, it'll end up being like a school. Like that's like one of the main goals of the Ready Academy. But it just started with, you know what I mean, just wanting to leave a legacy, and that's my pops. So shout out to him.
You said like, you know, that was your pops wanting to leave a legacy. What made you fall in love with it?
Man, really just seeing my pops like enjoy the grind, because I say that because all my pops did every day, like wake up 5:30, go cut hair, like without an alarm clock. So I saw the dedication he had, and I know like once I got a little bit older, I realized like, yeah, sometimes you have to do stuff you don't want to do. And not saying he don't love to cut, but I know he don't want to cut. And that's all he be known for. I remember him telling me, he said somebody was like, man, you still cutting hair? And he just like, he had that thought in his mind, like, man, like I've been cutting for over 30 years. Like I want to do something else. So, you know, me just seeing the joy that it bring to him, I'm like, man, that's my pops, and I'm more than blessed to have him. So I want to do anything I can to help him, you know what I mean? Because he didn't get to really play sports. And it wasn't that he wasn't good. I mean, like I said, he hooped, but he had to work too. You know what I mean? He lost both his parents when he was 6 years old. So his life was different. So I always kind of carried that with me. Like, yeah, I'm going to do it for my pops. And that's another reason why like the sports was so much to me, because I'm like, this is how I connect with my pops. You know what I mean? He was a little serious at times, but he was just like, I understand now like how he was wired, and I got stuff I got to take care of. So like I said, like just being there with my pops and on his next journey, next chapter, like so I just couldn't be more happy for him.
Something you said about you know, doing the one thing and then realizing like I don't want to do this forever. I think I kind of had that early, like, because I was in barber school, and then I was just sitting there like, so they, you know, when you're in barber school, they ask you like, so what do you kind of want to do from this? And I'm like, I don't want to cut nobody else shop for a while. Maybe I do want to have my own barber shops, but like, you know, just kind of wanted more.
For
so
sure.
being able to see that he kind of wanted that for himself and is actually doing it, and then you kind of helping him, and like, you know, just testing it to like how passionate he is, and then your love for him as well, which, you know, if a lot of people had that, like you need people that kind of see your vision in order for it to work. So I think that's pretty cool.
For sure.
What does it mean to you to be a father?
Man, like it's hard to put into words. Like somebody can tell you how it's going to be when you have a kid, but you're not going to know till you have a kid. Like the level of like emotion behind like anything, like now my son, he in school, so now I gotta worry. I'm thinking all day long, man, what's going on in school? Like anybody, you know what I mean, what's going on? You feel me? So like it's a different like mindset that you're gonna have, and but it's a blessing at the end of the day. Like I never really looked at it as a bad thing. You know what I mean? Like you rarely plan to have a child and have it when you want it. I mean, you play adult games, you get adult prizes too. So it's like I don't know. I could go on and on about it. I'm blessed. You feel me? I'm glad for my children. We lost our first.
Condolences.
Yeah, we got in an accident. Appreciate it. And she was pregnant though. So you know, I mean, a lot of people don't even know this story. Like it was kind of swept under the rug. But when she was pregnant with our son, we got a car accident, and pretty much a couple weeks before the baby was able to breathe on his own. So when her placenta ripped and things like that, the baby wasn't able to breathe. So she ended up getting a C-section, and that was the only chance that the baby had. It wasn't going to be able to come through regular. And, you know what I mean? He didn't make it, unfortunately, but, you know, we just also grateful to know that like he in a better place, and God bless us with 2 more. So I got a boy and I got a little girl. She just turned 2. He just turned 6. And, yeah, it's just a blessing, man. Like, it's a roller coaster for sure. You know what I mean? You're going to have your days where you're like, man, like, dang, like, I was supposed to be doing this. I was supposed to be, but you know what I mean? God do everything happen for a reason. And you know what I mean? I just trust God. You feel me? His time with everything.
What do you love most about being a father?
Man, I just say really the motivation. Like every time I see one of my kids, my son or my daughter, when they just smile at you, they look at you like they don't really know no wrong that you've done in your life. They just look at you like you perfect. And I'm looking back, I'm like, man, you don't know, like I've been wasting time. I've been bluff. I didn't, you feel me? I done made mistakes, all that, but they love you unconditionally. Yeah. So just that look is just like, man, it like that fire in you, like, you know what, man, I gotta do it. I gotta finish whatever it is I say I'm going to start for them. You know what I mean? Like, I don't ever want my son to quit. I don't ever want my daughter to feel like my dad didn't do what he said he was going to do. I don't never want that feeling. So it just really just put that battery in your back. To just like really be a man and stand on whatever you say, and and live with no excuses for real.
So what would you say like you dislike most about being a father?
And that's a tough question. Oh yeah, nah. It's not really that tough. And I say probably just not the responsibility, but the danger. You know what I mean? Like I said, thinking about, man, what's going on in school? You know what I mean? I don't know who around my son. I don't know what they showing them, things like that. Or somebody got to watch my daughter, like, as they really watching her, all those things like that, like that stuff going on in your mind, but you can't think like that because then it's going to make you crazy. So I just, like I said, like, I just trust in God. I make sure I pray with my kids and everything. Like, my son, he got a prayer. Like, we pray every day before I drop him off to school, and he know it now. Like, one day I started praying and he just like cut me off and just started finishing the prayer. And I'm like, man, that's what's up. Like, that's another thing about being a father that I love. It's just like those seeds that you get to plant, that you planted. And it's like, you get to watch it grow. And it's like, man, like I really brought something into this world. Like, it's crazy. So that's why I would say like the worst thing about it would probably just be the dangers and making sure that like I'm always aware as much as possible, because you can't be there 24/7, but you know what I mean? Just pray and try to make sure that they covered for sure.
2 things off what you said. One thing, my mom said she always prayed over me and my siblings that like, or she always prayed to God, like, I'm not burying a child, you know? And so like, everything that happened, we was at Bowie homecoming. First of all, that John was lit.
Heard about the Bowie.
Yeah, but what happened was while we were there, they started shooting. And like I was like right there. Like I heard the gunshot, like I saw everybody scatter. And like I just remember my mom going to church the next day. She was like, it's nothing but God, because that could have easily been. It was me and 2 of my sisters was there, and they were a little bit further from me. And it's crazy because like as I'm walking, I'm like, they're a little bit far, but like not really thinking too much of it. And then boom, that's when it happened. Like and then it just, you know, but like you said, I think it's real pivotal for, if you're a believer, like you got to pray that over your kids and the people you love, because like you said, you can't be there all the time, and it don't do you no good stressing, because you're just going, you know, it's going to mess you up. But you really just put it in his hands, like, look, like pray today, covered at the park, in the mall, all this other type stuff. So like, I just think that that's real pivotal, and it speaks to, how much you love them, that you think about that, doing that for them.
For sure. And that come from my mom, really. Like moms be knowing, like she know when you doing stuff you're not supposed to be, places you're not supposed to be. So she always, my mom, like she just always praying. Like sometimes just everything would be going right and she's still praying for me. So like it just was instilled in me to just like, cause I know same thing. I done had so many close calls, being places and stuff happening just like that. And God making sure you get home safe. Like I think people take that for granted sometimes. You think just because you walk out the door you're gonna walk back in, and that's not a guarantee. So like you said, if you're a believer, like you better show some belief. You feel me? So nah, that's for sure though. For sure.
I think another thing I was gonna say, what you said, like so I don't got no kids yet. I am the oldest of 5, but something that I noticed about myself, I used to run track, and I ran the 100 to 200, 4x1, 4x2. And my best events were the relays because everybody depended on me. Like the 100 to 200, it's easier to give up on yourself. But when it's 3 other people that are entrusting me to take that baton and then give it to the next person, like, and I think that's just, a testament to, it kind of ties into like being a father or being a leader. It's like, I can't fail. Like I gotta, do what needs to be done in order for, it don't matter. Like, I hear so many people talk about, if they kids if it's only enough food for the kids, hey, here you go. You know what I mean? Or literally taking the shirt off your back, it's something as simple as that. Like if I got $20 and my sisters come and they need 50, I'm gonna find a way to get the other 30. I don't know how. I'm gonna figure it out though, because you got to. But yeah, thanks for listening to my TED talk.
Nah, I like that analogy. I never heard nobody really use that. Like facts though. Like you in that relay, you already know. Like man, they counting on me. Like so, yeah, I like that for sure.
What was the healing process like from losing a child?
Man, you know what? Like it's kind of cliche. Like how they, men's supposed to brush it off and keep your chin up and keep moving. Like I never really sat there and really thought about it like that. Like for a while, I just, not gonna say I moved on, but I just kept going. Like, cause I wanted to hurt for real. Like I really didn't feel the pain that I wanted to feel because I guess I didn't know the baby didn't know me. So it was like, it wasn't like me and my son now or my daughter where I've built a bond, a connection. I got to hold them and all those things and then lose them. You know what I mean? That would have been different. But I think God wouldn't allow me to because for one, my wife now, who was my girlfriend at the time, she needed me to be strong. You know what I mean? She had to get that C-section. And now every pregnancy from then on, she would have to get a C-section, and the risk of her losing her life was higher every single time. And I know how her body, like she don't show no emotions, but she was showing some emotions. So I'm like, I gotta show her that she okay, everything gonna be okay. And every now and then, like I would see a picture and I might shed a tear or two, but it's like God wouldn't allow me to feel that. You know what I mean? As much as I wanted to. And I think it was just because I knew, being a believer, that he was in heaven, so he didn't have to suffer. He wasn't in no pain, so I always try to look at it from that aspect because I didn't want no hate in my heart for the lady, even though she was in the wrong, and and it was nothing I could do to avoid the situation. I just try to be strong for her and, just make sure his name live on, really, and just make sure I do what I say I'm going to do, so he can have a legacy.
I think the most powerful thing that I heard from what you said is like, you had to be strong for her, and I feel like as men, especially as Black men, like it's hard for us to show any type of weakness, like anything, like, and so like I think that there's been situations where like I think I crashed my car and like. The person that was in the passenger seat, they were like, why are you not like phased? It's because I knew that if I started showing emotion, that they wouldn't have been able to, like we both can't be emotional.
Right.
And so like, it speaks to the testament. But then also I feel like sometimes it sucks that we're not allowed to have emotions, because it's like, nah, I hurt too.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, it still bothered me. But something else too, there was another situation where like I was talking about a traumatic situation, but I didn't even know I had trauma from it until I started talking. And this happened years ago when I was in like 5th grade. And I was like, dang, like that's crazy that I didn't even know that affected me like that. And I feel like I didn't let me affect me because my sisters were there.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had to show them like, hey, look, it's going to be cool.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
And now that's normal though. Like because like you just said with the trauma, like you don't even realize it in the moment. You so used to bottling it up and keeping it moving that you don't have time. It's almost like I look at it now the way you were saying, it was like that. I guess I gotta wait till I get to the end result of what I'm trying to get to let my emotions out, so I can now that sigh of relief, because I still gotta do what I gotta do at the end of the day. A man, he don't really got time to sit and wallow in his feelings.
Yeah.
So it's almost like I tell the bro all the time, shout out my YJ, I just be like, man, I know when I make it wherever I'm supposed to make it in life, I know I'm gonna cry. I know I'm going to let it all out then, what I mean? So right now I'm just going to toughen up and do what I got to do. It's going to be tears of joy for sure, but we just still got to keep moving. You can't stop.
No, I agree with that too, because I told somebody who was interviewing, I said I give myself one time a year to cry, if that. And they're like, that's crazy, you gotta let that go. But it's like, off what you were saying, like I'm not successful yet, so and when I cry, I'll be down for like days, like 2-3 days, and I can't chill. Just relax. But like I can't be down that many days. Like we got too much to accomplish. So if I'm gonna cry, hey look, I give myself today, and I got to move on until we get to that point. I got a couple M's in the bank account. I'll cry for a week. That's
hey, you deserve it. You earned that. Earned them tears.
Yeah, but I feel that though. Like, I feel like as men, the role we play, like at the end of the day, it is what it is. But like, if we supposed to lead, you know what I mean? If we crumble, what about the people behind us? So it's just like, that's why I feel like that's why guys don't even know how to process the emotion, because one, we don't have the time to. Because by the time that situation over, here's something else coming around the corner. You feel me? You gotta lock in and just do what you gotta do.
Yeah, especially if you gotta grow up early. You know what I mean? But nah, for sure, the foundation gotta be strong. It's like you just said, if it crumble, you know what I mean? How you gonna build from that? So,
especially in sports, man, they don't let you cry, man. So you a football player, like ain't none of that.
Not our generation, not when we came up.
Nah. What you crying for?
Take a lap.
Yeah, for real.
I'm crying.
For real.
How'd you meet your wife?
That's first of all, the story low key fire. I'm gonna be honest. Because I knew of her, but I didn't know her personally.
Yeah.
I had only seen her one time in person before this. And, but she didn't see me. It was at a basketball game. So fast forward, I'm at open gym, and, this was at the Boys and Girls Club. My mom used to run it. So we used to have open gym every Friday from like 6 p.m. to 11. So it would be jumping like all night. And I just remember I was on the court and I saw her walk in with her, with some of her cousins and stuff, but I knew everybody she was with.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's she doing here? She ain't never been here before.
Yeah.
So, me, like I said, I'm already on the court, so I'm warmed up. Now I start cooking even more now. And I just could see her peeping a little bit in her peripherals. So I'm like, okay, you know what I mean? Let me give her a little show. See if she take the bait. And I ended up getting hurt doing too much. So I tried, thug it out, couldn't play no more. Put my Nikes on. Then I started chilling around. Like I said, we was in there all night, so I stayed in there, and I ended up taking a picture, and I posted it on IG. So like I said, now I'm fishing. So when I cast out there, I'm like, let me see if she like it. Let me see if she like the fish. The next day, I got the notification she liked it. I'm like, okay. So now we getting somewhere. So I like one picture. So I'm trying to see what's the lick read. And she like all my pictures.
Oh man.
So I'm like, ooh, wait. Said, let's do it. So boom, I liked all her joints. And then I was like, man, I gotta go one step further now. So I just sent to the dollars, not the dollar sign, the number sign with the question mark. So I was back in the Boys and Girls Club the next day, just working out by myself because I stay in the gym. So I was like, all right, after my workout, I'm gonna check and see if she respond. I forgot I even did it. So I checked my phone. I was like, oh, she probably didn't even hit me back. Then I seen the number. I was like, oh yeah, we in there. We in there. So I ended up hitting her up and we chopped it up a little bit. And it really just took off from there, bro. Like we've been hooping ever since.
So, what you love the most about her?
Man, I'm gonna be honest. Like, I love really everything about her, even her flaws. And I say flaws meaning like because nobody perfect. Yeah, you know what I mean. We all got stuff we gotta work on. Like sometimes her attitude can be chippy a little bit, but I know how. You know what I mean. I know how to soften that out. Yeah, and when we first started talking, I just saw the honesty in her. Like, I didn't ask for no social media. I ain't check her phone. I wasn't doing none of that. But she was showing me everything. Like, every time somebody hit her up, she let me know. Even though, like I said, I ain't want to see it. But I'm glad you showing me. Yeah. Because now I know how I move around these people. And also, I'm starting to see, okay, this is something I ain't never dealt with before. Ain't nobody ever been this upfront. You know what I mean? Not just honest, but transparent. Yeah. So I'm like, all right, this is something different. And I always told God, like, cause I ain't gonna lie, like, I love hard. So and it's hard for me to love too. Yeah. So if I give you my heart and it crumble, like I'm off you. So the simple fact that she was just so transparent with me, like, I'm like, yo, I told God my next girl gonna be my last girl. That's what I used to say. I used to say it all the time, like, yo, I got my heart broken in middle school. Man. But that's nothing. That was small stuff. But like I said, I love hard. So I took it hard, pause. Like I took it to heart. And so I was like, man, I'm gonna move slow with her. I ain't gonna rush nothing. Yeah. And you know what I mean? It been that ever since. Like when I told him my next girl gonna be my last girl, that's what it was. Like all the signs was pointing to like, yo, this is what you asked for. I mean, you asked for somebody who was not necessarily a homebody, but somebody who to herself, you know what I mean? Not a follower. You know what I mean? She had just came back from the military. Like she was getting ready to go to the Navy. That's you know tough. What I mean? But she failed her swimming test. Dang. So, you know what I mean? Everything just like seemed like it just fell into place. And man, so like, I like I said, I love everything about her, man. Like she keep me on my toes, and she always push me like, bro, whatever you do, I'm with it. I'm going wherever you go. Like you go here, I'm going there. Yeah. So I'm like, all right, but I found my ride or die. You know, I'm blessed for real.
I'm happy for you, man.
I appreciate that.
It's pivotal.
It's tough out here. I already know.
Man, look,
I ain't trying to jump back out there ever again.
Man, look, who you telling, bro? Like I be looking, I'm like, man, like, especially when we become successful, like, that's going to be hard to decipher.
Yeah, definitely. That discernment is key, man. Like, I feel like I got the game down packed, but I'm out the game. So, you know what I mean? I don't know. If I can help anybody, I'd try to give them the game that I got, but it is what it is, man.
Yeah, I think something you said too, I just remembered, I forgot, like you talked about how you love her flaws. Like that's real true love. Like we was talking about that earlier, like love is blind. So there's some things that, and I don't even think that that's a bad, it can be a bad thing, but sometimes like if you talk about like, it'd be things like Dan, like, man, I love your acne. They'd be like, ew. What?
No.
Yeah, but it's
don't
like.
Lie to me. Don't lie to me. I know I got a little gap, man. I get some veneers.
Nah, yo, I'm just talking about that, bro. My mom said I can't get them, but I'm like, look, I might got it. I might got you, bro.
Once that money get situated, man, I'm gonna take care of me too, for sure.
Nah, for real. You gotta let me know where you go so I can go ahead and follow up behind you.
Get the plug, man, for sure.
So I'm going out the country for them.
No,
I'm gonna lie to you.
they got everything.
Mm-hmm.
You get everything out the country.
Yes, sir.
For real. Only thing I'm scared of, they be talking about when you eat, like they be popping off. I'm like, I'm not trying to deal with that.
Bad ones, bro.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. That's one of the things I do regret in my life, bro. I wish I just was more careful about what I ate, bro. Like, man, I blame my cousin, bro. Like, he was a bad influence when we was young, bro.
Man, nah, I was just stubborn. Cause like, you know, we athletes, so I drank a lot of Gatorade. They was like, that's just better drinking soda. I said,
Gatorade, candy, Doritos, like honey buns, like and like I said, like I was good on hygiene, but all that junk food, lemonade, bro. I drank so much lemonade, bro.
Yeah,
I kept something by my bed, so I wake up in the middle of the night, drink the lemonade, go right back to bed. Like, so it is what it is, though. Gotta deal with it.
Bro, I used to drink Mountain Dew bad. I used to love Mountain Dew, bro. They kill it.
But see, you remember they used to say if you drink Mountain Dew, you can't have no baby.
Yeah.
I ain't know that was true. They said they kill your sperm.
Oh, no, that's crazy.
They used to say that when we was in school.
Nah, I heard that.
I thought, you know, everything you hear back in the day, you thought it was true.
Yeah.
That social media is just, it's different now. So.
We got ChatGPT. I don't drink it no more because I'm gonna say it off camera. I say
you be my right, go ahead. Like, man.
So what made you realize you were truly in love with her for the first time?
Partly how she did everything without me even asking. Like I wasn't the type to like take advantage of nobody. So like she would come pick me up like 1 o'clock in the morning, take me to Wawa and buy me a chicken tender bacon hoagie and some Doritos, and she would just doing little stuff like without me even asking. Like I'm like, yo, you don't gotta do that. But she showed me how much like she really, you know what I mean, was interested in me. I'm like, man, you got all this attention over here. I'm like, at first, I'm like, man, this can't be real, yo. This not true. Like, she playing with me. But I just kept seeing, like, the consistency, like, the effort. Like, she was like, you want me to come get you? You want me to come get you? I'm like, that's what you want out of somebody. Like, you want them to show that they all about you. And, like, I'm like, dang, like, out of all that, she got so many options and you choosing me. So, like, I just think, she just... not gonna say she grew on me, but she just like made it like impossible for me to not like want to be with her really. And then her aunts and them, they kind of pressed me a little bit. When she brought me over the house, she was like, so when we gonna make this official? I'm like, man, we just friends right now. Like, I'm just trying to get to know her. I ain't trying to rush nothing, but it was just, man, like, it was everything I asked for her. So I knew from that alone, like, yeah, this the one. That's the one.
That black love, man. It's powerful.
Yeah. Well, we've been through a lot too. So like I said, even with the accident, stuff like that, like it just brought us closer together. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, so yeah, we stuck.
Can time really change the outcome of love or just how we remember it?
That's a good question. Man. Ask me that one more time. I gotta think deep thought.
Can time really change the outcome of love or just how we remember it?
Can time? Man, that's a sophisticated question. I just think love, like time, if you really love somebody, like if it's real love, if it's meant to be love, time, the love only going to continue to grow. You know what I mean? That's the best way I can answer it, because I know one thing about time is you just can't get time back. So when you spending time with somebody that you consider yourself to love, like, you want to really spend time with them, you know what I mean, forever. So like that's really a tough question, really. Like, I'm still pondering on how I want to answer it, because I've never been asked that. I've never been asked about time and love. I just know I love, you know what I mean, spending time you know what I mean, with my loved ones. And I just want the most time I can have with them while we still alive. You know what I mean? Like, that's really the best way I can answer that question for real. That's a good question, man. For sure.
I think I'm in that dilemma right now of like, how much time do I want to give to see if this going to work? You know, how much time is it going to, like, how patient do you want to be, you know? And like, because people, they talk about, you know, dating for potential or, you know, allowing people to mature. And it's like, you don't want to waste, you know, all your time trying to wait for somebody to become what you believe they can be or a glimpse of what they show you. But at the same time, that is a tough question. I keep looking at it like,
and then see me, like, that's another thing. Like, I learned once after my little heartbreak in middle school, I learned I was like, if it's not meant to be, it's not going to be meant to be. Like, I'm not going to rush nothing. Like, if God don't bring it to me, like, I'm not forcing no relationship. I'm not. Because even if it's 10 years, 20 years, and it ain't meant to be, that joint's not going to last. So I just try not to rush into, you know what I mean, things when it come to love. Like, my pops always just say, man, just be friends first, man. Like, that's how you really start. Because, like, when you jumping into something so deep, so, you know what I mean, so serious, like, at a young age or just prematurely, it can be easily manipulated. It can be tiring. It could be draining. It could throw you off course if it ain't the right person. So, you know what I mean? Like, just finding somebody that you could be friends with first and y'all both understand each other and got a love for one another outside of even wanting to be together. Like, it just finding somebody like that you could see yourself with for real. And like, they got to show them tendencies too, man. Like, it's like I said, nobody perfect, but you know what I mean? Once you find them traits in that person that you can deal with, it's like, all right, maybe we can take it there. But yeah, you definitely don't want to waste time, man. You gotta take people for who they really are, and when they showing you, like really don't you gotta have that discernment. So
that's hard though.
Yeah.
Like, taking people for who they are and trying to understand that people be flawed and make mistakes.
That too.
I feel like it's a thin line, you know what I mean? Because how many times do you have to show me something? Because somebody will be like, you know, they show you it twice, pack it up. Other people will be like, you know, people make mistakes, stuff like that. But also, like what you were saying earlier about like dating to potential. See, I was told that like I was having a conversation about that, and the person told me like that's sort of idiotic to date someone for the potential that they might have, because it's like, who's to say they ever reach that potential? You know what I mean? Like, they could take a whole different turn. Like, so it's like, at the end of the day, you've been with this person for however many years, and then they take a turn now. That's all a waste of time.
Facts. And everybody got potential. You know what I mean? God don't create nobody like uneven. Like, we all created equals. So it's like, yeah, everybody got potential, but everybody ain't gonna tap into it either. So you kind of got to find somebody that's on the same path. Like, and you know what I mean? She doing what she's supposed to do. You doing what you're supposed to do. If it's meant, y'all going lock in, you know what I mean? At the right time. You know what I mean? It's just not rushing certain things, and you know what I mean? Just controlling what you can control. Cause that's how, you know what I mean, God work. Like, you doing everything you supposed to do. He gonna orchestrate everything. It's when we go out of his will and we start trying to force situations and relationships with people, and he's like, well, you don't really know this person like you think you do, and you don't know what they're really here for until they get what they want. So you know what I mean, you kind of gotta just be on your path, be on your journey, and let stuff come, let it come to you. For that's what I'll say happened for me. Like, when I wasn't looking for no girl, he brought her to me. You know what I mean? But when that was my focus, like, man, I'm here, I'm there. Like, I was running into traps, really. You know what I mean? So, cause the devil will hear what you ask for too. So you gotta understand that, like, everybody asks for certain things, but don't be ready for it. So yeah,
I feel that. I think the last thing I'll say about that is just, you know, loving people for who they are, not what they could be.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just accepting what they are, and if they grow into that, great.
Mm-hmm.
You know. So I thought I'll leave it right there.
It's that simple though.
Yeah, but you got to tell us the story about that heartbreaking middle school, man. You just said it,
man.
You just said it twice, man.
Well, for real, it was it was some puppy love stuff. Like it was a girl we used to like each other in like kindergarten, and start something like that. And really, it's kind of like two instances. The first one, like I had a little girlfriend. I guess we was together, and we was in the fire hall, and I saw her dancing on one of the older boys. To me, like you let him hit. That's how I'm thinking as a young, and I'm like, yo, like you really all right. I'm done with you. So boom, then the second one, like I said, I was talking about with the little puppy love. We was like liking each other in kindergarten. I hadn't seen her for years. And then she ended up moving in town. I ain't gonna say the names or nothing like that. And we ended up kind of like linking back up a little bit. Yeah. But I guess she was talking to somebody else before me too. And I guess he was still trying to be on that. And I guess she picked him or something like that. I can't remember how it happened. All I know is, man, she took my heart for granted. You feel me? And I wasn't for it. Like, so I was like, all right, you got it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like I'm the type of person, I'm gonna move on. Like I ain't going, you know what I mean? I ain't gonna crash out or nothing like that. But I do be still feeling it though in my heart. So I just was like, you know what I mean? Yeah. My next gonna be my last.
Yeah, I feel that. Now that middle school love be dumb. I remember I was with a girl.
Stupid.
And they told her, so first of all, I was on crutches because I fractured my ankle playing football. They were like, yeah, we saw Robby up Chambers kissing a girl. I'm like, first of all, how am I get to Chambers? I'm on crutches, man.
Like, it was dirty macking.
Nah, for real, they lied.
They little talking. Yeah, middle school, man, I regret all that stuff, man. Like, and then I look at it like, it'd be pointless because you not going to marry that person more than 9.5 times out of 10, you not marrying the person you went with in school. So that's what I'll be trying to tell the youngest too. I'm like, bro, I get it. You like her. You don't want nobody else to have her. But like, yo, is y'all gonna get married? And if you don't know, or you like, man, I ain't thinking about that, man, it's not gonna last. Yeah. It's just not gonna last. It's gonna run its course. You know what I mean? Y'all probably gonna be toxic for a little while because y'all in high school, y'all not mature enough yet to understand. And then you're gonna be all out, you're gonna be in the streets for a little while trying to find, you know what I mean, some love. It ain't there. And then you're gonna end up trying to settle down at some point. But yeah, that middle school, high school stuff, like it turned people, it changed stuff for a lot of people. It do. So I really regret it, but it is what it is, though. Yeah. It molded me too. Yeah, because now you got your one. Yeah, you feel me? I went through all that. I'm done now.
So, is it possible to love someone and still not be happy with them?
I ain't gonna say happy with them. Like, it's times I ain't happy. You know what I mean? It ain't got nothing to do with her. Like, I might just not be happy about my situation. You know what I mean? And I'm always love her. I'm just sometimes not happy with where I'm at. Yeah. And then she still shows me love, still loves me through that. So I'm like, that's what I love about her, because that's what helped me get through. And like, all right, yeah, I gotta buckle down. She always, you know what I mean, got my back. So, you know, in situations, yeah, it's true. You probably can love somebody and not be happy, but you know what I mean, in my situation, I wouldn't say I'm not happy with her. Like, I'm, you know what I mean, I'm always, you know what I mean, grateful. Sometimes we have our little, you know what I mean, disputes. We don't never take it there, but it's always love, though. Yeah. It's always love.
Yeah. I think the answer is hell yeah. Because, like, I think for me, it's like love, it's a feeling, but it's also a choice. And so in the moments where, like, you got on my goddamn nerves, bro, but I still choose to make sure you straight. I ain't gonna have you out here with your tank on E. You know what I mean? I might not be the one to talk to you right now, you know, but I'm still, hey, like, you know what, she all right, you know, I'm still choosing to be there, you know. It's not always easy, you know. It's not always easy because man, like you got me messed up, like for real. And also too, it's like that person you love, like them people in your circle, the only people that can really have you messed up like that because of what they mean to you.
And how much you love them.
Yeah. Real lives.
Love an action word too. You know what I mean? Like people just say stuff so loosely and take stuff so lightly. I don't understand. Like, do you really know what love is? Like, love is like you always gonna love them even when they wrong. So you might not agree, you might not co-sign it, but you still love them. Like that's real love. Love run deep. So,
and they go back to that love is blind. Like, you know, like you said, when they wrong, or like, nah, man, shoot, he ain't wrong to me, you know, or even if he is wrong, I still ride for you. I ain't going, you know, look at you too crazy, or, you know, do things, man. Like, man, we just took a bop all the way to Salisbury to get some food. Like, from here, like, that's not too crazy to drive, but it's like, nigga, you know what I mean?
It takes some work. It ain't just a walk, but
for that one, you'll do it 10 times out of 10, and then won't even think about it. You don't even think it's crazy until somebody be like, "You went where? To do what?"
That's love, man. That's what love will do. Real love, anyway.
Yeah, facts on that.
So before I ask the last question, you mentioned God and your relationship with God a lot. You know, I guess just kind of speak on, you know, what he means to you, and you know how you built up that relationship and that trust.
Man, I would say God mean everything to me, really, and then my family after that, like. You know what I mean? Like, I just know I was just brought up in the church, of course, so it was always going to be somewhat part of me. You know what I mean? I branched off and I still did things I ain't proud of, you know what I mean? Like, but I was always in the church. Like, my mom kept me in the church. Like, it was days I'm trying to hide in the morning so I ain't got to go to church. I'm not feeling good. You know what I mean? I remember one time I was so mad I ain't get out the car at church. I stayed in the car the whole church service. But I just knew that God was just always there with me, like through everything. Like, my mom told me my first word was Jesus. Of course, I don't know that, but so I always knew I had some sort of, I was always going to have a relationship with God. My mom, she just always been praying for me, always had me in church and things like that. And I just got to the point on my own where I was like, I know I didn't get here on my own. You know what I mean? My mom and dad, I didn't tell them everything. So it was only one person or one thing, one entity that could kept me safe through everything I was doing. You know what I mean? And that was God. So that's why, like, I'm just grateful because, you know what I mean? I should have been dead. You know what I mean? So many times. I should have been locked up so many times. Like, I just had a encounter with the spiritual realm at a young age. Like, always, like, I seen spirits. I seen stuff that people wouldn't probably believe I saw as a kid. Like, and man, I done had so many dreams and nightmares, bro. Like, it's insane. But I say all that to say, like, God is just everything, bro. Like, I can't even put it into words. Like, I can't really. I'm just grateful, you know what I mean, that he's just continuously kept me, protecting me and my family and things like that. It just always made a way, you know what I mean, when we didn't have whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? That's just my belief. And, you know what I mean? I'm just trying to fulfill my purpose, man. That's really it.
No, I feel that. That's beautiful too. I kind of feel the same because, like, it'd be crazy to me sometimes. And I just got to think of now. I see people do the same stuff I did, but, you know, they in jail or, you know, they dead or stuff like that. And it's like, that could have easily been me. You know, we grew up in the same place, you know, we had the same mentors and all that, you know, and it's just like, you know, I feel like I give that to my relationship, but also my parents and my aunts and uncles that were praying for me, and I didn't even know. You know what I mean? That had me covered when, you know, like I said, man, I might not want to go to church, you know, or like, hey, man, I ain't trying to do it, man. For what? Waking me up early,
Right.
or, you feel me? I'm trying to watch a Ravens game, man. I ain't trying to be in church at 1, 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
Man. But
Word,
finish this sentence. Love is
God. God is love.
mm-hmm.
I mean, love is YJ say it all the time. Love is the highest form of vibration.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Love is what the world need. There's so much hate.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if everybody showed love, it would you just think of the world in that aspect. Everybody show love.
Yeah.
It'd be no wrong, really. It'd be no killing, no eat. Like everything would be the way God intended it to be. If everybody showed love.
Yeah.
Everybody would feel loved.
Yeah.
So, yeah. That's what I said.
Why you think everybody don't show love?
I think some people don't know love. Some people never had love. And some people seeing people get love and just jealous that the love that they got just wasn't enough.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like everybody upbringing different. Everybody was dealt different cards. And you still got to play your hand. So it's like some people like, man, why I got to go through this? And it's understandable. But love is true love anyway. True love is like, it's not much no more. And it's sad. Like, you know, even families don't show that same love they used to. Like, so like we used to be at mom's house, all of us deep. It ain't like it used to be.
It's not,
you know, but
yeah. You said that God is love. Like, you know, it's a word I learned. I went to this Bible camp. That agape love, unconditional love. You know, a lot of people don't have unconditional love. You know, and or you know, only God can really truly, you know, show that. And I feel like that's important. If a lot of people kind of carry that, you know, I feel like your parents, they kind of love you unconditionally. But outside of that, you know, like I remember one time I ain't talked to my sister for a week, like 3 times. I just walk past each other. We went track together. I am not speaking to you, bro. Not talking to
see you at home.
Yeah. Look, I don't want to see you at all. Like, yeah, but now I understand like how silly that was, and then also like we, you know, we need each other, and how important it is to, you know, be that rock for each other, be that rock, you know, for all of the people in my family, especially, you know, I feel like you can attest to this being the oldest. It's like everybody looking at you, you the example, you know, you're, you know, everybody has their own path, but at the end, they still gonna look to you. So there's really, you know, trying to, I won't say be perfect, but, you know I'm real open about my flaws. I'll call my group chat and be like, look, I got fired today.
Okay, yeah. On a Friday.
I got fired today. But,
day off.
Yeah, but don't be like me though. This what happened for me to get fired, you know. So just learn from my mistakes so you can be better.
Be real with yourself. And man, like that's real. And before I forget, like it's just something my pop said, is it just always stick with me. He's like, this is the only round that we guaranteed to like be together. So like that's why I love so hard, really, because I'm like, if we talked about time, we don't know how much time we got with each other. That's why I kind of like, if it's something that I don't like, man, I more so brush it to the side, because I'm like, yo, I know if something happened to you, it's gonna hurt me. So I try to show love to the point where you can't do nothing but change. You feel me? Like I don't know it all. I ain't perfect, but I know love does wonders, bro. Like, so that's why I love the way I do, because just this is the only time we know we here with each other. Yeah. So yeah.
Well, before we let you go, you got to talk about the For Sure podcast, man.
Oh yeah, shout it out,
man. Come on, man. For Sure. You know what I mean? Pod. You know what I mean? Shout out, bro. YJ, man. We took a little hiatus, man. Had to get some stuff together. You know what I mean? I had stuff to take care of. He had stuff to take care of. Just really getting our responsibilities intact. And we ain't done. I know some people probably was like, man, they probably fell off. They probably beefing. You know how it go. But nah, bro, man. Be at the crib. We be playing spades. We be kicking it all the time, man. Just trying to plan so next time we get back to it, we can do everything right.
Yeah.
And shout out to y'all, man, because y'all definitely a big influence on us getting our stuff together, man, because we was just winging it for real. Like, we ain't really know what to do. We just said, man, we're going to start today.
Right.
And we started, and, you know what I mean, we was doing what we was supposed to do. Mm-hmm. I mean, we fell off for a little bit, but we not done. And we got a surprise, you know what I mean, when we get back to work. And definitely got to have y'all on, man.
For sure.
Y'all really doing it right now, man. Y'all putting that work in. And man, y'all inspiring us, man, for sure.
Appreciate. I don't think I ever like get over like y'all inspired me, and now you telling me I'm inspiring you. Like, that's just that's so crazy to me, man. But we really appreciate it.
For sure, man. For sure.